Hey guys, National Master James Canty III here, and today we are looking at a C3 Sicilian deep dive, just digging right into it, looking at a few lines here and talking about some ideas in the C3 Sicilian, C3 Sicil for the kill, all that other stuff. Make sure you guys check out the playlist that is attached to this video, and this video will be in the playlist for the C3 Sicilian, so you can check all the other videos out. So if you guys want to become a wizard or a Jedi at the C3 Sicil for the kill, let's go. All right, here we go. E4, C5, and C3 is on the board. So my favorite opening, of course. I never go with the knight F3s ever. No delayed C3 Sicilians, none of that. I'm just going to play C3 and D4 because I want to take over the center immediately. Now, of course, knight C6, knight F6, D6, E6. These are all moves here, some of my favorite stuff. Now, there's two ways to play this. There's either, which of course G6 is a move. G6 is a more accelerated dragon stuff. And of course, I play this as black. So you got to know, like, I play both sides to this. Not that I don't play this much anymore. Of course, I have a lot of videos on it, and I'll have a lot of stuff for you guys here on the channel too. But I am just moving into better chess, to say the least. So after G6, D4, pawn takes, and then there's D5. D5 is a usual move. I would always play this too. And white usually has two options: capturing or playing E5. Now here, I actually developed part of the book because the book says you can try this at home, and I did. So I hit this with the engine, and now I play knight to c3. Actually, one of the biggest games I won. There is a game in the playlist that covers this game. I'm just going to briefly look at the moves though. Knight to c3, I'm sacrificing a pawn because after they capture, I go bishop c4. And oh man, they in trouble. A lot of people fall for this. I mean, 99% of players play bishop to g7. And after bishop g7, queen to b3, I'm attacking f7 already. After e6, we go d5. They already in some trouble here. And over the board, when I played Martin Del Campo, International Master, he captured. I captured. He played queen f6, which is already knew something was wrong here. And I was like, queen f6? Something don't seem right. I think he played queen f6 here, but the idea is actually just defending the pawn. But what I did was queen to b5, and after knight to c6, bishop to g5. This is a very nasty stuff can happen here. Castling queen side, stuff's gonna get extremely scary here. The idea is if it captures, then there's a check here, and the queen is hanging on g5. So this is extremely crazy chess here, but it's my kind of game, and it's fun to play, I tell you that. So we do have that against the g6 lines. Now against the regular stuff like knight f6, we'll play e5, knight d5, d4 happens, and they have e6, d6, or knight to c6, or even capturing first. Usually captures first is the move, and then they'll follow up with e6. Now the problem with e6, why I don't like e6, is because the bishop is blocked in, and because this bishop is blocked in the way that it is, white's not able to, or black's not able to use the bishop in the manner that he wants to. So this bishop's going to be bad, and eventually, if they can't get this bishop out, or if they don't do it quickly, then we're going to play bishop d3 anyway, queen e2 and queen e4, and try to mate the king. These are ideas, guys. You want to remember the ideas over everything else. So the ideas of this one is to play bishop d3, queen e2, and queen e4. And you have many traps where sometimes I'll put the knight on c3, and after capturing with a bishop on d3, I'll play queen e2 and queen e4, and skewer or fork actually the rook and checkmate on the board. So after e6, we could go knight f3. I like to do this first. Knight c3 is slightly an error, I would say, because after capturing, they're immediately hitting your center. They're immediately hitting this. So you either have to take it, which of course, if you do take it, now he's developing with tempo, and you're actually like kind of down slightly. This bishop's very bad, but at the same time, he just developed faster than you did. So I like to go knight f3, and before knight to c3. Knight f3, here we go. Knight f3, so after knight f3, there's bishop e7 or knight c6, which is standard. After knight to c6, I play bishop d3. You also have a check here, and I can just block with d2 or knight to d2 sometimes. Just depends on how or what they're playing in these positions. And then I like to castle. After bishop d3, bishop e7 or bishop d4 check. If bishop b4 check, sometimes I'll play bishop d2, sometimes I'll play knight d2. I like knight d2, but you do have to worry about this sometimes. And this is just tricky players are going to play stuff like knight f4, literally bishop to f1, g3, bring the bishop back to d3. It gets wild. So if castle's right, g3, they can go here or here. Usually knight to g6, bishop back to d3, I castle, queen e2, queen e4, h4, h5. And we're trying to make the king as quickly as possible. We're definitely going to kick this bishop out. So this, I haven't faced this too many times, but that does happen sometimes. And after knight f3, bishop e7, it could be a move too. Bishop d3, this is more standard stuff I get. Castles, knight c6, queen e2. I love making this move for queen to e4. Now he's supposed to play d6 at some point, so let's go d6. d6, knight to c3. Capture, take on d5, or take on e5, take on e5. So I was just looking at this position with some students actually, and this right here is a very very good move, or a very very good structure for white. A pawn on e5 is saying that I am supposed to attack you, basically, and vice versa. If black has a pawn on e4, he's supposed to be in an attacking seat, to say the least. But I'm definitely attacking chess here. I have a nice bishop on this diagonal, and if something as simple as b6 loses on the spot, literally loses on the spot, b6, queen to e4, and now I'm hitting both of these pieces immediately. So after g6, I just take the knight, they can take the bishop, and I get one too, actually. But actually, I remember that this, I actually fell into this trap before, that after it takes his bishop a6, right? And now your queen's hanging, or this is hanging and the queen's hanging. So to look at this, you have to be very careful actually in this position here. You could take with the bishop, but rook to d1 seems a little bit better, and then you have queen e4. But there are times that you do need to look out for this, because I actually have failed for this trap myself. After queen here and then g6 and then taking, I'm like, oh, I should just take the rook, you know, or do, you know, take the rook here. But you maybe could play bishop h6 first. I wonder if that does anything. Bishop b7, queen here, rook b8, so maybe not. Queen kind of looks short on spaces anyway. So you have to be very careful with that. Extremely careful. But after queen e4, let's actually see what the engine likes here. It's +4. Oh my goodness, it's crushing. g6, best move is bishop to b5. Wow. Big boy move here. Hitting the knight, we all learned something. This is why you hit your stuff with the engine. The knight is hanging, and like, what do you even do about this? Best move is bishop b7. Wow. Wow, guys, bishop to b5, novelty in the position thanks to the engine. Bishop b5. But of course, usually sometimes I'll have a rook on d1. It just depends on the move order, and the move order in this sense there's no rook on d1, so this is hanging here. But it's good to know that after g6 you just play bishop b5 instead of just capturing the material, because again, this is what will happen if you take this and you're not ready. Okay, after you take bishop a6 and you're looking crazy, okay, the rook is hanging with mate and your queen is hanging. So you have to take this and then move the rook, because this is really bad. So that has happened before, but there's been many times where this just wasn't an option, and I'll play here and I'll be able to take the knight. So that is the idea usually when you have this kind of opening to face, or this kind of c3 Sicilian you'll be facing. There's many variations to it in many ways that, you know, move orders will be different. Maybe they'll do something else. Maybe it'll be a little bit different. Well, that's usually how that goes. Now, let's try another knight d5, d4, takes. They have d6 as well, which of course we cover in another video about that. But after d6, this is knight f3. Now, I have had bishop g4 happen to me before. Bishop g4 I think is extremely weird. I don't really like this too much. There's a lot of play for white, to say the least. Now, black's just trying to be clever. He's trying to get the bishop outside the pawn chain. I first want to look at what the engine plays, and then I'll tell you what I've done. So the engine plays knight c3 as an option. I don't really like knight c3. And the reason being is because what if they just take it, right? And then what happens if they capture here? Best move is h3 or bishop c4. Yeah, no, I'm not into this. This is not what I wanted to do. And not at all. So, and the other moves are bishop b5 check, h3. Yeah, I've tried h3. I've also tried bishop c4. I like this move a lot. You'll be surprised at how many people will go knight to b6 in this position. Thank you so much. On f7, takes, knight g5 check, tactics, win games, big fella. Very simple. Very, very simple tactic there. I like that one a lot if they play bishop to g4. Sometimes I'll even play queen b3 to try to mix it up. And I'm also hitting b7, and I'm releasing the knight, or releasing the queen from the pin here. So the knight can actually move in some cases. Knight g5 can come around. Bishop c4 looks good. I like this queen b3 move a lot. So that one is one. After pawn takes, let's see, d6, knight f3, and then sometimes you'll see e6, which is literally a version of what we just looked at. Just a different move order like we talked about before. Bishop d3 once again. We always aim here. Now what's funny is most c3 Sicilian books or things that you look at, videos online, they go bishop to c4, which is totally fine. That is a move, but as a Jedi here, I like to play bishop to d3, and I've had great success with it because I'm able to aim at the king and almost checkmate very, very quickly, or give them problems and pose them problems where I am aiming at checkmate. So I always choose bishop to d3. Now, knight to c6, again, castling, bishop e7, queen e2, castles. Again, this bishop looks gross. Knight to c3. Now, this is one of the times, I think, where you would be able to get away with certain things here. But b6, actually, no, it looks like the same. Queen e4, same position, just different move order. g6, and you can't take, of course. If you do, then you run into this again, guys. Watch. Don't block what you face, okay? Do not do that. You have to play bishop to b5. But it's funny how we get the same position from two different move orders here with the e6 and d6, or e6 first, bishop e7, then later playing d6. It just depends on how they play it. And the knight f6 line, I never have trouble with this one at all. This is not a one that I have a lot of problems with. Sometimes the one that you can have problems with, depending on who you're playing or what they're playing, because there's so many options to it, is the d5 one. And if they play e6, so e6, this is like a French one, a French defense one. And with the French defense, after e4, e6, or actually e4, c5, and then c3 and e6, this is literally a French position after d4 and d5. Now, you can capture here. This is what I used to do, capture. I'll play it sometimes. Then after knight f3, there's knight c6, bishop b5. We castle. I'll actually briefly show you. Bishop e7, actually taking this to make the bishop move twice. Castling, knight g to e7, knight b to d2, castles, knight b3. And we're going to play on the isolated pawn, against the isolated pawn, which is very simple. Put a knight in the center and just play around it. Rook e1, rook h3, bishop to e3, trade this off. It's a very simple game, and it's not like a lot of tactics in that one. It's just more positional and like a strategical way to play because the pawn is isolated. But on top of that, actually, is you can actually do this. This is what the book says. The book says is you should go e5, which I have been studying some French advance, literally the Milner-Berry gambit, to be honest, because it's strong and it's tactical. And what I like about it is that it goes into a French defense. Psychologically, if you're playing a Sicilian and then you switch it to a French, it's a little bit different. And you may not play as fun or as good because you are playing a French defense from a Sicilian. So pawn takes, knight f3. Now we're into a French, takes knight c6, knight f3, queen b6, bishop d3, setting up the trap. So bishop d7, castles, knight takes d4, knight to d2, and I'm playing in this fashion now where I'm actually sacrificing the pawn. Magnus has some nice games against it as well with the white pieces. Of course, if we get to this position, if you've never seen this trap, well, now you'll see it now. You'll be in a lot of trouble if you allow this check to happen because the queen's just hanging. That's just how it goes. So that's that line. If they play e6, e4, c5, c3, and instead of e6, sometimes they'll go knight to c6, which this is one of my favorites to face. You also have d6 too. So after d6, there's d4, pawn takes, and then they have e5, which is really bad. I've never seen that one. But again, we have this e6 move. This one I've actually seen a lot. And you'd be surprised at how many people play e6 and d6 at the same time. This is not a good one. And the reason being is because we're just going to put our pieces here. Bishop to d3. Remember, we're talking about ideas, and we're going to make the king very simple. Look at the bishops. They go nowhere. This is extremely bad. So after e6, let's start with knight to c3. Knight f6, knight f3. Bishop e7, bishop d3. Castles. And then we just play queen e2 and e5. Very simple plan here. Knight c6, queen e2. And then bishop d7, I guess, maybe. Let's even try b6. But bishop d7 is more common. But b6, e5, knight here. Maybe like queen e4 now actually works, I think. I think queen e4 works now. But queen e4, and you can also do this too. There's two ways to do this, guys. You can take, and play queen c2, hitting h7 and c6 at the same time. Loose pieces lose games is what I tell my opponents, so you need to be very aware, or my opponents. I don't tell my opponents that, I tell my students that, but you need to know that loose pieces lose games. This is loose. So there's a lot of attacking chances in these kind of positions. Now, of course, again, the c3 Sicilian that you will find is the bishop c4 lines. So a lot of the stuff you won't have a chance to see. But here with the Jedi knowledge, the Jedi guides that we have here, we do bishop to d3 so we can make the king as quickly as possible. You will always, I can literally, when they play e6 and d6, I pre-move like all of these moves. Knight f3, knight c3, bishop d3, castles, queen e2. I mean, it's literally all on pre-move because they don't really do anything effective that you don't have to pre-move to. So that's why I do it in this fashion. d4, takes. Now, another move is knight f6. Knight to c3. Sometimes you'll have g6 here. This is a very common one. They want to fianchetto the bishop. Knight f3, bishop g7, bishop b5 check. This one's scary. Knight c6 is usually never played, which you could. But they usually go bishop to d7. And after bishop d7, I hit him with this nice move in e5. You'd be surprised at how many people capture here first. It's not right. You actually jump off the deep end immediately because I'm going to make a Egyptian jug or an in-between move to take this knight. And now I'm hitting the bishop. So either, no matter what you do, if you move this one, I'm taking this one. And if you move this one, then I'm taking this one. Either or. So if you take this one and I'm just up a clean piece here. Queen a5 doesn't work. I'm just going back, knight to c3, and have a nice day. Castle, and I'm up a full piece. Happens a lot. I've had that many times against players and it just happens that way. E5 takes. I'm also threatening E6 as well. So sometimes knight H5 actually loses a piece due to G4 immediately. You can't take this, and if bishop takes, queen A5 once again, and this knight is over here in the wilderness looking crazy. So nothing to do with that. A lot of times they'll play knight G8, which sucks to make a move like that, but knight G8 does happen, or knight G4. Knight G4 is a more common one. Then I'll play E6. And E6 is very nice because I'm breaking, I'm literally like, stopping this. Knight to G5 happens. This knight's hanging. There's too many pieces. There's so much going on. Black doesn't know what to do, and it's very scary for them. Very scary. I highly recommend you don't get into that position with Black. Man, oh man. But, okay. Now, the last thing we're going to look at is the knight C6, which is one of my favorites. I have some videos on this here on the YouTube channel. Make sure you check them out in the playlist. Now, after knight C6, there's D4. We covered E6, I think, in tricks and traps. After E6, there's D5. Hitting the knight, and after pawn takes, again, knight E7 loses on the spot to D6. After the knight moves, no matter where you go, I don't care where you go, except maybe here though, but knight G6, there's a check, and thank you for peace and the game. Very, very easy, very, very quick. Another trick and trap. The game is over. C3 Cecile for the kill. So they usually just take this, and you should take this, and follow up with D5. If they go E6, then again, push it again. Takes, and we have the same position, except just one pawn. There's less pawns here. With that being said, so after D5, you might see knight E5, but that's okay. We just attack this knight anyway, and then back it up and play D6. Queen B6, he's trying to defend or attack this. E5, shut it all down. Knight C3, knight B5, knight C7's coming, or knight F3. Maybe play queen E2 to try to castle, bishop E3, get the queen off this diagonal, bring the rook to C1, and just monster destroy him. Hit him with the lightsaber 17 times. So this is just exactly what happens here. Very, very tough. It's hard for Black to defend a lot of these positions if you know what you're doing. That's why the C3 Cecile for the kill is not only a positional opening, but it's extremely strong and tactical, especially if you know what you're doing with the ideas. Knight to C6, D4 takes, D5. This is the standard. This is how you should play if you play knight C6 in these C3 Sicilian positions. After captures, there's queen takes D5. After queen takes D5, we go knight to D3, or knight F3, sorry, to defend the pawn. After knight F3, there's knight F6, there's bishop G4. Of course, we cover a lot of these in the other videos, but after bishop G4, we're going to actually hit him with H3. Sorry, knight to C3 first. Knight to C3 first, and after bishop takes, which is a fun line, takes, knight takes. This is probably one of the most theoretical lines that I have in the C3 Sicilian. Black has many ways to go. Knight C2, which gets very wild. King here, takes, check, king here, takes, and now this knight's not getting out, but also at the same time there are problems on this side of the board. Bishop E3 is coming, bishop checks, all kind of mates that can happen, and my knight can get out. His usually can't. That's a problem. So the engine likes to play bishop E3 followed by bishop to D3 in some manners. It just depends on what they play. I have some theory on that, some very extensive theory, up to move like 30 in some of these positions, because it does get very, very technical, and you have to know your stuff here, because you are giving up a pawn in this position. I mean, looks are very deceiving in chess. We got double pawns, and he about to come into here. So you like thinking, man, how do I defend all of this? By attacking. That's how you defend it. Defend it by attacking. The best defense is attacking. So knight takes B5, bishop takes is usually a move here, and of course we covered this in the other video as well. Mate's coming very soon, just in case you want to see it. Here, check, or very close. Bishop G5, that's gross. F6, rook check. Have a nice day. I think the engine castles here. I think it's like mate if you castle or something like that. Rook D7, King E8. So what about King C8? Isn't it like mate? Yeah, now it's just castles, because now we're about to mate them. Rook C1, and then there's mate coming. That's like so sweet. Let's actually take a look at it. Takes, Rook C1, King B8. And I think it's bishop A6, right? Bishop A6 and mate on C8. Wow, beautiful. Beautiful. From sacking a piece, these never got out. Man, C3 Cecile for the kill, boys. This is exactly why we play this opening. So this is today's deep dive, slightly looking at some lines and ideas here, guys. The C3 Cecile for the kill. If you guys have any suggestions on what you want to cover in the C3 Sicilian or any positions, let me know in the comments below, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and hit the like button, share this video, and put some comments in the video. Let me know what you think about the video and stuff like that. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys on the next video.